to do at max level besides just raiding.
Yeah.
Also, it would be really nice if I could queue into mythic dungeons.
Yeah. If they're in the custom group finder. I was gonna try and form a group, but I decided I'd hold off a bit. But that's actually something I'm curious about, is doing the mythic dungeons, because heroic dungeons don't have the reputation they once had. They were very easy. We were clearing them like the first week of the expansion, I think. So.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, they are not hard enough to warrant the, like, you can't raid finder into these or group finder into these. Like, they're not that hard. They're just still relevant at the new gear levels, essentially. So I really wish I could just queue into them. Like, don't make me go into group finder and then have to run to the dungeon and all that. Just let me queue for it. I would basically, the difference is, and this is why I wish I could, because I would have done mythic dungeons versus finding out I couldn't queue for it and not doing it. And I think sometimes that has to be a thing that you gauge as well. Like, well, are we going to lose people actually engaging in this content if we don't apply it to this area, or are people just going to go ahead and do it anyway? So I wish I could queue for it. That would be nice. But yeah, I dug my time with 6.2. Once I start seeing that story stuff, we'll see how frequent it is and how much of it there is. But that might be enough to keep me going each week. Because right now the only reason I'm doing it is to get oil.
Yeah. I gotta sort of express a conflicting opinion with you, though. Maybe it's not conflicting, but my favorite feature about this whole expansion, because I think it got introduced with Warlords of Draenor, was custom groups. That is the best thing. Like,
I agree.
Want to go fishing with somebody? Hey, let's go fishing. Whatever. Like, that's fun. I loved, the 40-man zerging around the Iron Pit that they removed.
Mm-hmm.
I loved doing that. I don't know why, but it was like one of the most amazing things. It was like, it was easy. Everyone's kind of telling jokes and chat and whatever. That was I liked that. A lot of the stuff I liked, they took away, because I don't know why. But, I feel like for Mythic raiding, I mean, I avoid the people that put in know your role, or, will verbally abuse you and kick you from the group. I'm like, you don't need to spread that kind of hate around in the world, guys. But for the most part, it's a great way to meet people, because I think people are more social if you go into a mythic dungeon. I like to think, anyways. People say, "Hi, what's up?" It's LFD, looking for dungeon, I guess, is really like playing solo. Like, the other players could, in fact, be robots. I wouldn't know. I'm not interacting with them. I just hope they do what they're supposed to do. And if they don't, I've got to stick up for them when other people verbally abuse them, because that inevitably happens. So custom groups, I think, is great. And I think it's great that they're doing that for Mythic, personally. I think they need to do more stuff like that and less automated stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that part we do disagree.
Yeah.
I love Group Finder for those other things, but if I want to run a dungeon, I want to run a dungeon. I don't want to go through a menu and then form a party off of that and then try and get the whole party there and then go. That's a
I
great
can argue
big waste
about this
of my
for
time.
another hour, because I'm like, LFD, when it is introduced, it diminishes the immersion of the world. World of Warcraft becomes a lobby to do dungeons. Call of Duty has a lobby, but it's just like a JPEG and some swirly stuff. I log into World of Warcraft. I've got this beautiful game lobby. I click LFD and play dungeons. Like, I don't think, personally, maybe it's good for the health of the game. It increases subscriber numbers. It compromises immersion. I don't have to go to that dungeon entrance and go there. I've never liked that about LFD, even though I benefit from it. It's very convenient. I think little things like that undermine the sense of place in the long run.
I don't disagree with you, but where I do disagree with you is the fact that when I want to be in the world, I want to be in the world. And I'm with you. I like the World of Warcraft. I wish we spent more time exploring the world, learning about the world, all that. When I want to run a dungeon, I want to run a dungeon. I'm not looking for world immersion when I'm wanting to run a dungeon. I'm looking to run a dungeon, and I want to spend X amount of time doing it. That's why I didn't like the Cataclysm dungeons, because they were these overly difficult, overly CC heavy dungeons that to me, it is almost like its own separate sub game, where it's just like, I want to get in and run dungeons for a little bit. Like, and that's how I approach it. Not everybody is going to, so it's going to always be, there's going to be a divide there, because not everybody's going to feel the same way. But for me, it's like getting into a heroes match, essentially. Like, I want to play a dungeon right now, and I'm going to get in and do that. Like, same thing with heroes. Like, if I want to play a match of heroes, I know about how long that's going to take. I know about how much time I need to set aside for it. I don't want it to be a dice roll of, well, how long is it going to take to find the group? Will I find the group? Will they be a good group? Will we all know how to get to the dungeon? Like, I just want to run the dungeon.
I think that responds to concerns from a world where we're server locked. We're not as server locked anymore. So in a way, you could get away with ditching LFD because you're going to probably find the people you want pretty quick, and then just everyone meet up at the meeting stone. But I get the convenience. I like the convenience too. I don't dispute that point. I just, I think they're slowly chipping away at all of that stuff. So with LFD, we have LFR, and
right.
What else are we going to have that sort of, I don't know.
LFQ, looking for quest, queue up, and we'll teleport you to the quest area. Like, yeah. I agree. Like, I don't want to be in that place. Like, I don't want to be in a place where every group quest in the game has a group quest finder that teleports you right in front of the NPC you need to kill, or anything like that. It's just, to me, like, you can cut WoW into sections, and there's sort of like, okay, PvP and raiding and dungeons and trade skills and stuff like that. Like, you can kind of compartmentalize it, and I think some of those compartments, for me at least, I experience in just I want to get in and engage in that thing, and it's not about the world, and it's not about my character's journey. Like, there's not some deep-seated lore on why I need to capture this flag 3 times in a row. It's just to play and get done. And I kind of look at dungeons that same way. Like, my character's already cleared them. I already know the story behind them. Like, just let me get in, let me run it. If I'm running it with friends, even better. But if it needs to be with strangers, that's cool too.
Okay, so now I can talk. See, Beau, what you don't know, there's this audio thing where if either you or John is talking, you don't hear me at all, so there's no way I can break in. So,
oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm
you
also
had no idea.
A huge overtalker too. So
okay, so
bad.
Here's the thing. Something that I tried out last week. Well, I should say on Monday, because I couldn't do it the rest of the week, and this is the best segue I'm going to get. Is I did some time walking dungeons, and this is one of those things, you queue into it and everything like that. So for an instance like that, to me it makes more sense to queue, because the game needs to set it up specifically so that you're a specific level, things are scaled and all that stuff. And I mean, it kind of makes more sense. I mean, granted, you could probably just have it on a drop down and do that same thing, but that's beside the point. What I really want to talk about is time walking dungeons are really fun. I'm sure.
What dungeon did you get?
Well, I did 2 of them, but first off, I'm sure that it is entirely just nostalgia playing with me. I'm positive about that. I'm not even going to attempt to think that it was anything other than that. The first one I did, Slave Pens. Go in there. It's not a horrible dungeon. I ran it a whole lot during Burning Crusade. It's cool. I had fun. I had a random healer with me who was in our guild, which is always fun when you queue for something and then poof, someone's there. But I had a blast. I equipped my Terragos's Wrath because guess what? You can equip it. It scales down. That's cool. Was it actually better? Probably not. But you know what?
Nope.
I got to freaking use it because I got that during Mist of Pandaria. So, of course, I never got to use it at level. But it was great. It was fun. I loved going back in there and actually having it be kind of dangerous. That being said, if they ever take away the possibility of us going in there and doing it alone, no, because I like doing that too. But after that, we did one of the Hellfire Citadel ones. It wasn't Ramparts. It wasn't the other one, it was the third one. I don't know.
The last one?
I think so, yeah.
The last one you do?
Yeah, where you fight the dude. Which
Blade
is
Fist?
Like all of them. I think so, maybe.
Like he's got a blade for a fist?
I don't remember. All I know is
Which
that we
one
went
is
in
it?
there.
Which expansion?
Burning Crusade.
Yeah, it was all Burning Crusade. I time walked too, Ben.
Really? I'm
I
surprised.
forgot about this. I totally forgot about this. I thought I needed to give it a try. And so, hey, everybody. I know I have expressed a not excitement about time walking because I like to engage in content when I feel like it, not when the devs tell me I should feel like it. Well, turns out I was playing while time walking was going and I felt like it. So I thought, let me give this a try. Let me see what this is like. And I got in there, and the bummer is I got a dungeon that I probably ran once at the time that it was in the game, so there was no nostalgia connection whatsoever to it.
Which one?
I got the is it the Alcatraz?
Okay.
Yeah, that's from Burning Crusade, right? I'm trying to remember because there's the other one. When I saw the name, at first I was like, "Oh, is this the Lich King one where it's the jail?" But anyway, like, so I got that, the one that has Millhouse Mana Storm at the very end.
Yeah.
And I went through and did that. I didn't have the nostalgia for it. I equipped both my Warglaves of Azeroth, like you do, and felt good about that. We died a couple of times from what you can tell are kind of outdated mechanics that you're just like, that nobody really remembers. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm trying so hard to remember what you're supposed to do on some of these things, but it's like, I saw it once. It was when the content was new. Like, there was not going to be any recalling of what you were supposed to do. I thought it was a decent time. The reward for it I looked at and was like, oh, this isn't very good at all. And I think they've said like they want it mostly for gearing up alts and stuff like that, and that's fine. I definitely think I would have had more fun during the Lich King ones because that's when I ran dungeons all the time.
Oh, yeah. No, when that happens, you and we're queuing for that. Like, that's going to be our post show. We're just queue after queue after queue.
Is it going right now for Lich King? Oh, okay.
It's in, I think, 2 weeks, something like that. And that right there, you nailed it. If this was available all the time, I'd be running them a lot more just for fun. I don't give a crap about the gear. It was fun.
Yeah, you just said, like, we'll queue for it post-show, and I was like, are we going to do that post-show? I'll do that post-show. Mm-hmm. And then, like, oh, wait, no, when is it going to be? That's why I don't like content like that. But that's okay. You know, it was fine. It was, to me, I'm happier living in a world that has it than a world that doesn't.
Yeah.
So, I know that sounds like saying the most, like, vanilla thing you can say about a thing, but, like, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. It's hard, I think, when you've got to make a decision like, I'm going to log into Warcraft to play this limited time content versus I'd actually much prefer to play Heroes today. But if I play Heroes, then I don't get to experience this content. I don't like being put in that position. As a Blizzard fan, we're not even talking about games or releases. It's like, I've got to choose between things to do now, and it's not fun.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't get to play it until Monday night, which, John, after we got back from the movie, is when I ran my 2 dungeons.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Because, talk about waiting till the last minute, I had till 3 a.m.
I extra time walked after we got back from the movie because I played Diablo 1.
Yeah, I saw the video you put up.
Yeah, the very first comment I got on that video was noob. And the person, although I think they're trying to be a troll, is not wrong. I haven't played Diablo 1 since I was probably in, like, middle school. Like, yeah, I felt like a noob because I haven't played that game in forever. I had no idea how anything worked anymore. I had no idea what to do.
You're playing a game. This culture of, like, if you're going to share anything, you better be amazing at it, or I'm entitled to insult you. Guys, don't call other people noobs and names. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
Well, after
I react to that.
yeah, after I finish my move, ended sometime after the end of the month, John and I we've talked about me trying to break my Final Fantasy IV curse, and we just might end up streaming the entire game. Not all at once because that'd be crazy, but we might do that.
Which one's that in America terms?
2.
There was never one. It's 2? Oh, it's a good one.
Yes, it is.
Wait a minute. No, it's not. It's not 2.
Yes, it is.
Final Fantasy 2 has a pirate guy.
Final Fantasy II in America was on the Super Nintendo, and it's Final Fantasy IV in Japan.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm thinking in the Japanese terms.
Yes. And when we do end up doing that, if we have a live chat room, they get to name the characters when we get them. Fun things like that.
Yeah.
Although you and I might have to be Kane and Cecil, just because. Makes sense.
Which one's Kane and which one's Cecil?
You would be Kane, I'd be Cecil. Okay. Anyways. So...
It's a date.
Yep. Moving on, because we are running very long, and we've got to start closing this up. We had a contest. It involves Heroes of the Storm. So, Beau, it's great that you're here for this, even though you had absolutely nothing to do with it. We would like to thank... we'd like to thank the Epic Fail Podcast for our code for Sonia, and congratulations to Felza. You are going to be getting that code emailed to you shortly. Like, in a little bit. Because I'll take care of that, John, unless you're doing that right now. But,
No, I'm looking up who Kane is from Final Fantasy IV. I want to know if I should feel insulted or not.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Anyways, Felza said, "Hey, Art Crew, I just heard you guys were looking for heroes character suggestions, and I actually have 3 that I would like. Obviously, Vol'jin would be a badass. I really think the Druid from Diablo 2 would be awesome as a siege specialist, summoning vines and wolves to attack the towers. And finally, the Hearthstone Innkeeper. He could be support by throwing cards to teammates. Thanks, y'all. Don't care if I win, but I would like to hear who you guys would like to see in the game on the next show." Well, we will talk about that at some point in the future, because I think everybody wants to see Deckard Cain.
Not me. I actually don't want him in the game.
Everybody but Beau wants to see Deckard Cain.
Let me go on record. I mean, I'll play him. I'm a Heroes addict, but no, he's this old guy who reads books. He doesn't do anything. You're the one that go out there and he's just like, hey, let me identify this item for you.
Yeah,
and
that's why he'll be
helping
awesome.
save the world.
He'll identify items for you.
Sorry, man. He doesn't meet my badass threshold.
Yeah, well, just wait. Just wait till he turns into a total badass support.
Yeah.
Just wait until you want him around you all the time and you're constantly like, why won't someone play Deckard Cain? Please, somebody play Deckard Cain.
I need him to identify this trait for me.
I thought
Sorry,
you guys
was
were
that
going to keep
too
talking.
negative?
No, you're fine. I thought you were going to keep talking, which is why I typed. Anyways.
No, I don't want to go on and on. I said what I had to say about Deckard Cain.
Okay.
Stop suggesting him.
Well,
No. No.
Okay.
No.
So anyways, Felza, thank you very much for your submission. Like I said, we'll get that code out to you very soon here. Hey, John.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, because Sonya is pretty cool. And you spin a lot. So make sure you have a barf bag, just in case. John.
Yes, Ben.
Today, you had many different decisions that you had to make, whether they were light side choices, dark side choices, if you're going to let those dudes die or call in a favor from them later. One of the decisions that you had was, what shirt am I going to put on today? And I notice that your shirt, while nice as it is, it could potentially be nicer, since I know a couple different shirts that you have in your wardrobe.
It wasn't a hard choice, Ben. I went with the one that was clean.
Okay. Well, if all of your dirty shirts actually were clean, what would you have chosen to wear?
Probably this shirt. It's pretty comfy.
Okay. Thanks.
Ro in the chat room says you're closer to Sid in Final Fantasy IV, Ben.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
He makes
cool.
all the airships.
Yeah, Sid's cool.
I looked up Kane. He seems all right.
Yeah, you'd totally be Kane.
He's a dragoon. I like dragoons. If I was in Final Fantasy, I would want to be a dragoon.
In that case, do not read any of the story. You're going to be Kane.
Is he a bad guy?
No.
Okay.
I will say this. Spoiler alert. He is in your final party when you go to take out the boss.
Does he betray you?
He is in your final party when you go to take out the boss.
I like how I immediately apparently landed on it. I found the apparently I found the quality that Ben associates with me and Kane.
Yep, and if you're looking for quality, make sure to go to slashloot.com where you can pick up an Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt. It is comfy, it supports the show, and it's your way of saying, hey look, I like Murlocs. Thanks for that, John. You forced me to do that.
I would totally betray you if I felt that it was appropriate. Yeah. But I have very high standards on what would be appropriate, Ben.
Really?
Yeah. Like if somebody was like, okay, you need to betray Ben or you can have some peach cobbler, I would not betray you.
Well, what would you betray me for?
Captain Crunch donut holes.
No, I would not betray Ben over Captain Crunch donut holes, though they are delicious and tasty. I don't know, Ben. We will cross that bridge when we come to it.
It's not very reassuring when you're like, there's a high standard, but let me take a page from Blizzard's book and not tell you what that is.
We're not talking about how I will betray Ben or when at this time. We're very excited about 6.2.x, but we're not sure if Ben's betrayal will happen at that time or a later date.
We're just going to see, how fast, my trust, ebbs and flows, and then we'll make a determination at that point.
I did see some spoilers that he's apparently in the sequel, the After Years. So I apparently survive it.
I don't care enough about that.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying I survive it.
Okay.
It's not canon.
That.
John, would you betray me for a necklace or keychain from Azeroth Roundtable that you can find at geekasylum.etsy.com?
No, Ben, because it's so easy to get one of those fine items. You just go to geekasylum.com and buy one. There's no reason to betray you over it. It's not like that item's hard to come by. It's not like it's super insanely valuable. Why, it's a good moderate price that everybody should go out and buy and get themselves. It's not worth betraying a human being over. Don't be ridiculous, man.
All right. Beau, thank you very much for joining us this week. I really appreciate it. It was a blast to talk to you, and we've definitely got to get you on more often.
Good. I'm glad. I feel like, is this a record-setting length for a podcast?
It's a good length. Yeah. Everybody has told us that this is a good length.
It's always nice to hear that you have a good length. So, thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun to talk about this stuff.
Definitely.
With fellow Blizzard fans, because make no mistake, I am a huge fan of Blizzard. So I don't know.
So, where can people find you if they're looking for you?
So, if you liked this shtick but want it maybe a bit more blue, you can find me at the Good, Bad, or Bullshit podcast. This is a podcast where three friends debate a topic selected at random by a diesel-powered random topic generator that Mike keeps in his garage. We cover topics like circumcision, prostitution. Our latest episodes were on theme parks and jogging. So we cover the range. At the end of the debate, we deliver verdicts, whether we think it's good, bad, or bullshit. Check it out, goodbadbull.com. I also do a little gaming podcast with my buddy Crofton, the ! Podcast. You can find that at exmpodcast.com. And you can follow me at Beau Schwartz and find all that stuff there on Twitter, as well as, there's going to be some Heroes of the Pants stuff coming soon, too. So if you like watching Heroes of the Storm games, we may have something for you in the near future.
That's
true.
I love.
And announcements tomorrow about getting that tournament finally underway.
I saw that. I was very excited. I was actually checking our notes prior to the show recording, and I was like, everybody signed up. We're about to go.
The headhunting is over.
So
all three of us are in that tournament.
Here's the fun thing. We're in the same first bracket, too.
Oh, I wonder what your strategies are going to be. Care to share anything? I'm taking notes.
Yes, it's going to be really try not to die.
Everyone, basically, who has responded back, all the team captains, are like, thanks for inviting us into the tournament. Happy to be here. We're ready to lose a ton. Like, we expect to lose. Like, everyone's a champion. So, but, so that should make for some great games because... I don't think no one on the team has like you better buckle up because I'm about to come over there and smash you guys. Not a single team has had a attitude like that.
Well,
so
within
good
the
news
team,
for us.
Within the team, yeah, Civ's our captain, so.
Oh yeah, you guys aren't going to win very many games.
Look, everybody has a chance in this tournament except Civ.
Civ's gonna have to listen to this whole podcast to get to this insult. So
by the might of his team, he might pull out a victory. By the might of his team. But let's face it, the bar for Civ is pretty low.
Well, let's put it this way.
Some might say the bar is sitting on the ground.
If Civ played Johanna, he might live through a match.
No.
Maybe.
He might live through an encounter. Poor Civ. I give him such a hard time in Heroes. It's my favorite thing, though.
Yeah.
But he's a lot of fun to play.
He can put some damage out as Nova, so, we're joking around, but he's got his comfort picks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, where can people find you?
If you want more of me for some reason, you can follow me on Twitter at John Jagger. That's all. Wait, no, that's not right. Don't fall. Wait, hold on. This has all gone to hell. Hold on. Don't follow that guy. Guy's a jerk for having my Twitter name. I'm at John_Jagger. If you tweet at John Jagger, you are not tweeting at me, which I may or may not be happy about, but...
You need to change all your social media tags to the Jaggernaut, like I told you.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
And then nobody would know.
Get the Jaggernaut.
The Jaggernaut. I'm the Jaggernaut. I'm unstoppable.
You are.
Once I get going, there's no stopping. I also do a lot for our YouTube channel. I'm the one who does all the uploads, but I also throw a ton of videos up there. Most recently that we haven't talked about, we did a Let's Meet the Butcher where we showed off the Diablo 1 Butcher. I'm actually going to turn that into a 3-part series where we look at the Butcher in Diablo 3. And then ultimately finally look at the Butcher as he appears in Heroes of the Storm, just to kind of get you a feel for what the Butcher's about. We also did a scrub guide for Johanna, so if you are wanting to learn a little bit more about her, that's a good place to go. What else, Ben? I did some witchering on there.
You do a lot.
So, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of videos. If you, for some reason... and I wouldn't understand why, like the sound of my voice, you can hear more of it there.
Well, let me put it this way. I did watch some of the, introduction to the Butcher, and I gotta say, as YouTube personalities go, you're okay to listen to. You're informative. You're fun. You keep the audience engaged. So I'm a fan.
Yeah, there was a whole person watching that live, and they were engaged. They were so engaged they didn't say a word to me.
Yep, and let's put it this way. You do so much with the Twitch feed and YouTube that I don't think I could ever stream on my own because you're probably already doing it.
Yep, Ben's not allowed to stream because I just stream all the time. That's not true, Ben. If you ever want to use it, just go right ahead. But I will probably ask to join you. I just know you're too busy to join me. You're a busy man, Ben. In fact, why don't you tell everybody how busy you are?
Well, I do have a couple of other shows. You can always find me on Geektopia and also Battle Pets. There is a new episode of Battle Pets going up relatively shortly. We recorded it earlier this week, and I gotta say, it's a lot of fun. So yeah. As for the show that you're listening to currently, you can follow us on Twitter at AzerothRT. If you have any questions, comments, want to talk about your experiences with 6.2, or have any hints on finding more quests and stories and stuff, go ahead and send those to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com. And of course, you can always listen to us anytime on Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, and on our website, AzerothRoundtable.com. And last but not least, our intro contains music from Volatile Reaction by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of his music at incompetech.com.
You know, it was a little sing-songy, but you made it through the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. It's because I'm in a rush.
Why are you in a rush? You got somewhere to be?
Yes, I do.
Where are you going to go?
That's
Taco
personal.
Bell?
Yes.
Taco Bell?
I need Taco Bell.
Is it Taco Bell?
It's Taco Bell.
You going to Taco Bell?
Not right this second. Maybe later.
Taco Bell?
So is are we done recording at this point?
We're still streaming, but we're recording.
No, I
Or
know.
not recording.
But the show proper, I mean, is that
Yep.
that was the end. Okay.
Yeah,
that was
the end of the show.
All right. If it wasn't, I made it that because you'd have to cut this whole awkward part out.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Are we still live, guys? Should I say stuff?
Guys, is the show over? I don't know if the show's on. And that brings us to our next segment.
Is the show over? Where we make our guests feel uncomfortable by... Anyways, whatever.
We're going to vote. I say the show's not over. John, what's your vote?
Show not over.
Okay. You might be outvoted here, but Beau, yes or no? Show's over?
No, I'm going to go with the group.
Okay.
Don't dissent.
then we'll continue recording and make sure that that's part of the show. So
Yes, this all needs to be in the show. This is the most important part of the show part of the show, the end show.
yes,
It's not the post show. Post show's something different. This is the end part of the show.
yes, it's the show part of the show.
It's pre-segments. It's post goodbye information. It's pre-sad Ben at the very end.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I can't tell if this is the show or not.
No, this is really
No,
this is still the show.
This is still the show?
Yeah, it's still the show.
It might not end up on iTunes or on TuneIn or Stitcher or AzerothRoundtable.com, but we're still being entertainment.
Yeah, we're still going. We're gonna keep going,
but
guys.
I mean you answered my question, so I won't no more words about that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hope I didn't embarrass you guys or anything.
No, not at all.
Okay,
We were happy to have you.
Look,
there's a culture and atmosphere, and I'm used to working only with close friends who, you guys have a very close rapport. I can tell where you guys will give each other crap. Where if you were business, you might like have a professional respect or whatever. So clearly, there's none between you two.
You don't have to worry about Ben and I respecting each other.
And so I get that, but still, so it was a lot of fun for me. I definitely enjoyed myself.
Well, good. I mean, you're a ton of fun to play heroes with. So just getting on the show and just talking to you more than just I'm going top.
I know, and that's a big fear I have actually. And I don't know if John, you've played with me a lot, but I get on stream with, it's not just our group and Team Chocolate, but a lot of people I've just recently met. Thanks to, Gorath is so great on morning stream. I had like 2 friends before that episode. Now I've got like 500. And that's not to brag. It's just this new world I'm living in now. And, I group up with people and they barely know me. And I start telling them what to do. Like Ben, start the show. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, you don't know me, and you've got this guy on your call being like, go here, get that camp, do this thing now. And I'm like, I should tone it back. I don't know them very much. And then people are like, no, do it. We need direction. And so that's all they know me as is like some drill sergeant. They're like, let's get the drill sergeant.
Oh no,
so it's cool to get to know you guys in this way.
I didn't mean that at all. I meant you just saying I'm going top.
So hey, there is no better feedback that you can get than the feedback people will give about you when they don't think you're ever going to hear about it. I have had people talk to me about playing with you, Beau, and they have said that playing with you has been amazing and super educational. They said that you were not kidding. This is stuff people have told me. They're like, "Oh, I'm so glad we got to play with him. He's so knowledgeable. He's so informative. He taught us a lot about the game. We had a lot of fun. Like, he's the nicest guy." Like, it has been nothing but compliments. Yeah. Like, I haven't had anybody come in and say, "Oh, you're super bossy," which is what they would say about me because I totally am. Mm-hmm. I cannot do what you do. I get in and I'm just like, guys, do the thing that I want you to do that I didn't say out loud.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the temperament for it. Whereas you go in and people will learn more about the game.
Yeah, with John, it's a lot of, well, we all should have been going to the tribute right now. Or...
Oh, passive aggressive, you mean?
We should have been doing this.
we should have been doing this, but we didn't.
We should have maybe
that's, like,
played the
what
game
we're
the
doing.
way it was supposed to be played. I didn't know this was mamby-pamby patty cake hour.
And Mick, yes, sometimes going and getting a merc camp while people are defending the core does happen. Sometimes people learn their lesson. Other times, there's no way that they could have even got to the core by the time that it ended. So they thought, you know what? I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get a merc camp.
Look, it's a big map. There's a lot going on in the game, and people have different skill levels in terms of the amount they're able to pay attention to at one time. The biggest thing for me is a lot of players don't keep their eyes glued to the map, and we all make mistakes. It's not like I'm perfect, but just being like passive aggressive, like, well, I guess some of us just don't look at the map. That's how we play. It just doesn't help anything. It's just makes someone feel bad, and that's it. So,
27 pings.
He
So I've
pinged
learned
the
from
hell out of that
experience
map, man.
I hate you, Mick.
We all tunnel vision. It's sometimes you just tunnel vision. It happens to all of us.
I will say, this was like months ago.
I'm losing it for Mick in the chat. Mick's making me laugh.
Well, I don't know the full story, so maybe I don't know. You were dirgling.
Let me tell it.
I wasn't there.
We were playing after the show one night, and it was near the end of the match, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try to do something to help this team, and I started on a merc camp while they were starting to defend the core at the same time, and we lost. It wasn't because I was getting that merc camp. We lost because we lost the match. We were not doing
the loss
anything
might
to
have
win.
started, 3 or 4 minutes into the game and just snowballed from there.
It
maybe.
could have, but
Your
I'm the
action
reason we
wasn't the
lost.
deciding factor in the loss. That's what your point is.
That's what I'm saying, but that's not what everybody else says about that match.
So everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. My story is this: Ben was our warrior. It's important to note he was our warrior, our tank. He was not a great damage dealer or anything like that.
Well, also, hold on. This was also when I was on Muradin, before he got his nice little, hey, he's actually playable again.
Hey,
so I wouldn't have helped.
These are facts maybe you should have put in your version of the story. I'm not putting it in mine. He's playing as our warrior, our stalwart defender, and we, as a collective, are all around the core trying to defend it, and we're trying to push them back, and we're yelling, push them back, everybody defend, and it just, so my perspective, I don't know why Ben was at the merc camp. I wasn't paying attention to that. I was focused on defending. So all I saw from my perspective was we seem awfully light on bodies defending this core right now. We seem to be missing a key component of the defense. As if the being that's supposed to be taking the damage so that we can get in and stop these guys isn't here. And then I look, and he's off on his own little corner, just fighting these mercs. Bless him, he's gonna take him down while the whole enemy and all 3 minion waves are zerging it.
Well, maybe he thinks you guys suck and said "fuck you guys" and just didn't want to, just doesn't want to say that and put that bad blood between you.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. It was at a time when I was horrible at the game. I still am. So,
yeah, everyone's got there is an ebb and flow to MOBAs that existed long before Heroes came out, and a lot of players walk into Heroes already understand. Never be doing nothing. be on top, be quicker to objectives than your opponent's team. Always be either laning, like have a purpose for doing something. Also, doing nothing is there. So when you watch a lot of esports streams, you kind of get used to a lot of this stuff from playing it. So some people just have that inherent MOBA language, and some of us are still learning it. It's okay. Not if you need to be supportive of your team. You're like, good job on that siege camp. Next time we'll get them.
Yeah, good job on that siege camp. Next time we'll be in a position where if you take them, we'll benefit from them instead of the game ending while you're still working on it.
If it's Hero League and we're 4v5ing all the time and the fifth guy's, not paying attention to the rest of us, in Hero League, like I'm going to be containing my rage and trying not to tilt. Because I still say that raging just brings everyone down anyway. You're not going to win more, You have to just make a polite comment like, we'd like you in team fights. Yeah. And we had one today. I was playing with Eric Van Skyhawk, and the healer was like, yo, tank, stop charging in. I can't heal you when you do that. And Eric was like, okay. And then he tried to fix it. I think we still lost, but it was a polite interaction that communicated, like, it wasn't like, what the fuck, Diablo? Like, which is what you often see. Are you a noob? Like, how many days have you had this game? Maybe you should uninstall. Like, that doesn't help, so.
Well, one thing that I would like to say is that either it was the next match or the one after, I forget which one it was, we won because I suggested, hey, right now we should take a lot of these merc camps.
Ben really likes merc camps.
I'm the Lily. Always positive, always going for merc camps. That's what I am. And I sometimes play her.
He's a jungler. Ben's jungler.
There's a lot of value in camps. I've played a lot of games. We had a game this afternoon, full pre-made 5 versus full pre-made 5, where all the other team wanted to do was team fight. So if we insisted on our plan of laning, they were just going from lane to lane, ganking, getting level advantage, getting resource advantage. So I said, all right, we're playing their game. We've just got to stick around in a ball, screw the levels, like who cares? We just kill them. We just have to be better at what they want to do. That's what we did. We ended up winning the game because we snowballed. So you do have to be able to adapt to what the opponents are wanting to do. This is like folksy card stuff where it's like playing, you don't play the cards in poker, you play the players. And I think once your language gets to a certain level, what you're trying to do is not play heroes. You're trying to disappoint the other people. You're trying to make them wish they never played. Like, why is that butcher always there? That freaking Nova. Like, if you break their spirit as early as possible, that'll win you the game more. Like, honestly, it is a PvP game, and people's spirits in MOBAs get broken so quickly. How many times have you been in a game and 3 minutes in, they're like, oh, GG, guys.
That drives me crazy.
If I'm on the other team, I'm hoping to hell that's what they're talking about on the other team.
Where you go in, you, like, shoot one arrow as Vala, you just go, foomp, and someone goes, GG, GG. We might, and you're just like, what has possibly happened? We have played games where we came back from, a 2% core and pushed them out and won. Like, how can you possibly say GG in the first encounter of the match?
Well, I will say that even though I'm horrible at the game, I'm not scared to be in a lane by myself anymore.
You're not horrible at the game, Ben. You're just very fun.
Laning has a big lexicon. Like, you could fill a whole week of training with an esports pro about how to just do laning, like in MOBAs generally. It's a big deal to be able to lane. It seems like nothing, but it's a huge skill in that niche. So I will say you're not wrong. You just need to play a good jungler, not Muradin, Ben. You need to play someone who clears camps like a boss. The past few days, I have seen Sonya's going, I'm going to solo boss, leave me alone, I don't want help. So maybe Sonya's actually a good champ for you. I can clear bruiser camps at like level 3 with her. Oh, wow. She would be a good one for that. So.
Well, there was a time that I was really enjoying playing Sylvanas, but then John always took her, so...
Yeah, well, she's good with camps too, but actually Sonya's better. Sonya's better for camps. Take Sonya.
I'll try her out.
Sylvanas better at everything.
Sonya's better at pushing the lane. Not Sonya, Sylvanas is. So
yeah, she's better at everything in the game. She's best hero in the game. Just solo the whole damn game. So okay, I want to say this about Ben for anybody who doesn't know. Ben knows this, but I'm going to say it out loud for people who don't know. I like to give Ben crap because he is a friend of mine, because we're friends, and that's what friends do. We've been friends for a very long time.
14 years?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So it is my job. It got a letter in the mail signed by somebody. It is my job to give him crap from time to time, especially about some of the things that we've seen in Heroes, because some of it has been exceptionally funny. Him fighting those sea giants while we're defending the core is one of them. His panicked shriek anytime another hero ended up in his lane in a one-on-one situation is another. There's some funny...
Again, a big part of this was back when Muradin was barely playable.
So
I had reason, is what I'm saying.
There's some funny Ben moments out there to be had. That said, Ben is a very good Muradin. He is a very good player in generally speaking. When we do custom games where we have to draft people, Ben is frequently my first choice. Well, actually, he's probably always been my first choice, and there are very few instances where that might not be the case.
If you don't get to go first.
Yeah, but the other thing is other people, there have been times where I haven't gone first, and other people pick someone else. I'm like, okay, go ahead. I'll take Ben. He's good at the game. And considering how little of the game he actually has played, he's exceptionally good. If you take into what his player level is and his experience with the game is, it's even more shocking. That's why I want him to play more. This guy could be a freaking all-star if he play it every now and then.
Well, thank you.
It all comes with practice. My first League of Legends matches, I was basically intentionally feeding. I just walk up to the enemy and just die.
Hey guys!
Die. Why are they yelling at me about... what is this feeding they're talking about?
So you played like Civ.
No comment, because it's League and it's different, but, I was like, what is feeding? I'm not feeding, I'm trying to kill them. They're like, you're walking into the tower and it's a 1v5.
Sticking your head in the turret.
What
kind of ammo you got in there?
Is this loaded, guys?
So we all have our, we all gotta learn. And unfortunately, when you queue up with randoms, some of those people are people learning, and you just need to be patient.
And I appreciate it when they are. Greatly.
I'm very patient with you, Ben. I'm just going to give you crap about the things along the way.
I know. You gotta admit, I do okay with Jaina.
Mm-hmm. You have a tendency to be a little too frontline with Jaina, but...
I agree with that, but sometimes those risks really pay off.
There are times when I'm like, why is Jaina leading the charge? She's like, don't worry, guys, I got this.
I know. I had to do that a couple times today, even. Where it's like, get behind the tank. Get behind. We're all 5 of us are running to go to the team fight. And I'm like, why is Kael'thas leading? Don't do that.
He's confident.
Well, sometimes I'm faster. I stop when I actually see things.
Well, I run into that problem all the time too, because if you look at the heroes that I really like to play, I love playing Johanna, I love playing Sylvanas, and then I get on someone like the Butcher, and it's do not play the Butcher at all like you would play either one of those characters. Even those two, they don't play the same. I get in this place where I was playing Johanna every time, and then I was like, all right, well, I need somebody else for quests. And so I'd just be they'd run back behind their wall, and I would just walk up to the wall, and I'm hitting it. And I'm just like, oh, right, hit points.
Oh, no.
What you're talking about in that language is disengage. Butcher has none. You might get lucky and be able to charge out by hitting some random minions. He doesn't, but both those heroes you talk about have a way to remove themselves from a fight. And So yeah, I have that problem too with Butcher. I'm usually initiating with him, and no one else comes with me. And then I blow up like in 2 seconds flat.
We had this really funny moment last night. We were playing on Sky Temple, and
I love that map. Love that.
We were playing just against AI. Everybody was just trying to get their quests done, clear them out, get gold. So we were just doing AI matches and just playing real casually. And we did the strategy where when the first 2 temples come up, we focused on the middle, and we held the middle, and we killed like 3 of them in that encounter. And I was like, oh shoot, let's grab both. So I start heading up top as the Butcher, and I said, Kephis, why don't you come with me? And he didn't hear me because somebody else was talking at the time, but I didn't know he didn't hear me. He didn't say anything, but I go in, and there's a Brightwing in there. Now, I had been very aggressive in the fight in the mid, so I had almost no health left, but I'm still the Butcher, and she's still Brightwing. So I go over, and I'm like hacking her apart, and it's getting real close, and I'm just like, oh man, this is tight. I should leave as soon as this is done. And I kill her, and I'm like, all right, that's taken care of. And I see this shadow moving through the bushes, and I'm like, hey, Kephis, and Chen pops out from the enemy. You're not Kephis! You're not Kephis! And I'm like yelling, and he just drops me immediately. And then Kephis in the chat, why? And I said, I asked you to be up top. He's all, oh, I didn't hear you.
Oh, that's great.
So,
all right. Well, with that,
fun game.
I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. So, chat room, you guys are great. John, I didn't know if you were going to be streaming stuff or not, or playing, or what.
No, I don't think I'm going to be streaming anything tonight. Nothing more, anyways. I will probably be playing more of a game that's an MMO. So, I don't know.
What game could that be?
Ben, are you going to Taco Bell?
Not anytime soon. If I do, it'll honestly be like maybe tomorrow.
Okay. So you were going to Taco Bell. I was probably going to go with you. I've already made that bad choice once today. Why not make it 2 times?
Yeah. Let's just say I already feel like that I ate there earlier.
Oh, you got to poop?
I wasn't going to say that.
Do you
I'm
have
just
to
saying
poop
that,
then?
no, it's very hot and I feel very sweaty and disgusting.
Oh, you should put your AC on.
Yeah. So anyways, chat room, you guys are great. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful night. And we'll talk to you later.